What's a bit loud for me? Okay, this is better. And so yeah, let's change to cities for today. Got a lot of things to do over there also, so hopefully we can make it into the new building I wanted. Okay, there we go. I did pick it up directly today, luckily. Okay. Let's start with this radio. So let's see what we had to do since yesterday. Got some deaths over here. Looks like it's not too many. This area is fully developed now. Oh, port upgrades, but we started to do that over here yesterday. It's not as active yet. I also need a garbage disposal over here. Until it's like this port over here, I'm not going to do anything with this port over here. We have two at the moment, Nightmare. This was the first one and this is the bigger one. I also was working on this one building. Let's still be active for today. Oh, I'm not going to build L6 sports. I'm barely used to at the moment. This one is not that active, so you can see a big difference between the green buildings and the old ones. I think, yeah, this is just all greenery next to the building. I think it also makes everyone much happier in the city. We got a couple of shelters. We got a big one over here. We never can hold enough people in the city, unfortunately. I think we have 6 shelters at the moment. But this is actually a problem also. I wish I was able to buy this lot of land. But I have the maximum amount of space at the moment. You mean food? There should be enough food. We have a really big farm area over here. It's not as well optimized as I wish it would be, but it's just temporary. Most of the things in the city are temporary at the moment. We are getting there, but we still need so much more buildings everywhere. to be green over here. We also got a lot of these little spots everywhere where old buildings like the universities and everything were. I didn't update those spaces yet. We're going to lose some people in this progress, but it's to make everything much better. We might end up at 76,000. That's just because I increased this zoning area over here. Oh, I can't buy any more land. I need to download something for the game to achieve that, unfortunately. Now I already have the maximum amount of squares you can have. But I will definitely download that for the next city we will build, so we can make a really big one. Only 3,000 left. But we still have a lot of squares over here that can fill up. So we should be okay with the area at the moment. After we get that last building, I'm going to remove this area and make a better transportation area. The rest is a really big one I wanted to use. I think this one. We also got the train station combination with the monorail. Also still need a post office somewhere in the city. These are all the monorails. There aren't much things I haven't built yet in the city, I think. The only thing we haven't built is this one, the little tramway. Yeah. Oh no. That's not good. Oh, it's progressing late and slowly. There's also this other one I can't actually get at the moment. This one is really difficult to get. Especially within a city like mine. If I try to achieve this with the current city, I'm probably going to end up losing, since too much people will die. It's a bit sad. I'm also still waiting until these are all filled up. But this area is all green now. It's also all self-sufficient, so it also reduces the amount of power I need at the moment. Oh, this is also something for tourism next to the space elevator. Oh, Doomsday Falls. But I don't think I need one at the moment. So this one is the one I'm trying to work to, and maybe this one is also going to help me a lot, but those are really expensive to build, especially the space elevator. I think that was the most expensive one. Yeah, but it gave me so much money back with income from tourists. And since there are so many people who come from the space elevator at the moment, I really want to remove this commercial zone and make it all office buildings. I need a bit more industry, it looks like. Let's build some over here. This power outfit output is also really low compared to other buildings I can make. Oh, it's not even connected at the moment. Probably because there are no buildings over there yet. Oh, hi Anya, Chris. How are you doing today? Hope you have a really comfy weekend. This area is also really busy. But probably for the next city I'm going to make little blocks everywhere instead of all connected like this. Maybe that's a bit better for the traffic also. It's so cold. Oh. Maybe you can change with me, it's really warm over here. And I don't really like the warmth. Hope you have some fluffy blankets to hide in there and to get warm again. Maybe my music is a little bit too loud today. Let's put it a little bit down, like this. Maybe this is better. I'm going to combine this one with this one at one point. And I wonder if the monorail can go underground. No, I don't think so. It would be a bit silly since the monorail is built to be above ground instead of underground. Please let me build that one building. We are getting closer now. It's going to take maybe another hour before we reach that goal. We still also need more houses, and in the city it looks like we have a lot of the space for more housing.
Just hunks of metal that take you from point A to point B. They are also composed of industrial plastics, polymers, and rubbers. We also know it's what's in the car that is more important than the car itself. And that's why it can also carry up to 300 kilograms of human, animal, or consumer goods cargo. The climate control device brings the air temperature to 22 degrees Celsius. It's our way of making our cars comfortable for the majority of human species. In fact, it is a perfect vessel for transport from short to medium distances.
It's so silly always.
The price we are asking is a fair trade for the value transfer to the consumer. Sternberger, more than just an auto.
What does it feel like to drive a cloud? What does
You
it
can't
feel
drive
like to
clouds
steer
now.
a river? What does it smell like to smell a mountain? At Jubilee, we're committed to letting you do the impossible. And now we've succeeded in letting you drive the undrivable. The Jubilee Dementia. The car
If it's
engineers said shouldn't be made.
shouldn't it be?
Test drive one today
You
and
should know
experience
me
what scientists for
not
decades
drive it.
claimed was beyond the realm of safe driving. Jubilee. Be reasonable or be fast.
I'm Jessica Statler, and this is Synthetic Dawn Radio, the only station with
Not
music
enough
made by
customers.
computers.
Oh no. We can also launch the new rocket. And so if someone wants to rename it, they can. With the channel points. This is also still a problem for me. I fixed well, it was fixed in the spot of the city until I started making more commercial zoning. I used to get enough of those for that one building. But there's nearly no demand for anything, unfortunately. Dead people to the zombies. But there are no zombies in this game. They're also a bit scary, so they should not be in this game anyway. Yeah, it would be really horrible. I hope nothing like that happens ever. Oh, no, he was also a bit stuck everywhere. Oh no. Not enough customers and not enough goods, unfortunately, at the moment. Fire. I don't see any fire anywhere. This looks so fun. I'm silly. Low housing over here, and then there's a new wall of big buildings. I think I'm also going to place this type of wall on this. Oh, actually I can't do that. This is the city border. Here's this little point over here. I did buy this area though. It's visible and processing slowly. I need a lot of more people living in the city to get more commercial zoning. Especially over here. Maybe I need another bus line though. To go over here. Yeah, let's make a new bus line. That will be connected to the bus station over here. And somewhere over here. I also have to change the amount of buses now. I think, yeah, that's this one. Let's bring it back to around 10 buses to start off with. The bus areas over here. There's also a little bus going all the way over here. I wonder, 199 buses at the moment in use. That's still a lot of buses, but if I didn't adjust the amount of buses with one line, I'm probably around 400 buses in the whole city. That is not going to help me with the traffic. It's just going to cause more traffic problems. Oh no. The monorail station is on fire. And luckily I have the little from fire helicopters. I'm getting there. Just a little bit more. I also think the customer problem will be fixed with bus lines. But sometimes it's a little bit difficult to see though with all the snow. Where's the bus stop for this one? Over here. No one over here yet, no. It might take a while until they arrive. So this is the next one. People have to walk all the way over here to access that area. They can only cross it over here, unfortunately. I don't think I can make them crosswalks along this road. It looks like I'm increasing in buildings. Yeah. The industry is also increasing a bit more. This is all commercial zone. I think I have the most commercial zone ever in this city at the moment. Wow, there's so many people waiting for transport. Maybe I need another one next to it. Yeah, let's add a one over here. That always makes people happy, so. I'm also confused why. Oh, I never assigned anything in this space over here. That's why it was empty. It's going faster and faster now. Only because the development is going really well with the housing and industry. If that increases, then there's also going to be a lot of commercial zone at one point. Why is there so much? I think I need some more police over here. A lot of criminals in this area. Raw materials is still a problem though. Maybe I need another airfield in this area. Let's make another one. I got enough funds for another one. Where is my industrial road? Over here. Just need a little cargo airport. Oh, it doesn't even fit over here. No, I want to remove the road, not build another one. A silly game. We can also just connect this one up now. Around here, okay. Why is it so difficult to... Oh, the slope is also too steep. And there's also this other airport already over here. So I don't know why there's not enough income at the moment. But thank you so much for the follow. How are you doing? Hope your weekend is really comfy. we got this cargo up over here. That's also supplies this area, but looks like we don't have enough raw materials. And for some reason. We even have a train station over here that supplies this area at the moment. This might also be a problem though. Where is this A? Okay, this goes much better. I think if I do it like this. And change it up a little bit. Also remove the traffic lights over here and here. Most of these roads have traffic lights, unfortunately. Might be always with these types of roads. This makes the traffic so much slower. But the problem is also in this area, since this road also connects up this little area.
The only restaurant where the servers are dinosaurs. Our animatronics are so real, you'll think a T-Rex is serving you T-bone, a pterodactyl is serving you teriyaki, that a brontosaurus is serving you chili dogs. Every dish is an archaeological find, like our stegogetti, our Raptor Burger Rex, or the pile of crumbled sticky brownies adventurously named the Dino Droppings. So, take a trip into the wild.
I don't want to eat in there.
You can dine in or dine-o.
The wait is over. It's
It
finally
sounds so
here.
silly.
Friday night chili bowling at Andy's Bowling Alley. Every Friday night, anyone who buys at least 2 games of bowling gets a free bowl of chili. So don't wait. Book a lane
Yeah,
now.
I'm going to
Due to recent incidents,
use
the chili
infinite
will only be
resources
distributed
on
at
the
the
new
end of your
city.
visit. That way you can enjoy it wherever you want. In a park,
since this
at home, or
removes
on a
the
construction site.
the
In the
three
meantime,
resources,
you'll have all the fun that
unfortunately.
bowling can provide. So come on back and be reminded that you're not actually that good at bowling. Andy's Bowling
Where's
Alley.
the no fire? Oh, there are no fire stations. Oh wait, that's medical. There's a
That last
fire
song had
station
me
over
thinking
there.
about ambitions. As a child, I wanted to become a celebrated breakdancer, captivating a foreign nobleman in a blur of hoop earrings and chartreuse bangles. But these days, I'd settle for a sharply dressed broker who drives an exotic car and carries a powerful handgun. If you fit that bill, this next one's for you.
I don't see anywhere that's disconnected. Strange. Also don't see any power icons. I only see a lot of these abandoned buildings. But that's mostly because commercial zone is not working at the moment. Yeah, we are losing a bit of commercial zone again. These are just burning down at the moment. Oh, because they are stuck in traffic over here. Let me remove those again. By the time they arrive, the fires, the buildings will be gone. This whole area should be some commercial zone, but it's going really slowly at the moment. Oh. It wasn't working anymore. Oh. More commercial area. This is the one I'm working towards at the moment. And it's going a bit slow. It's still burning. Yeah, this one burned down. And I fixed the customer, or mostly the customer, problem over here with the bus line. If I can find the bus station, then it's... Oh, on the side. Only one passenger, okay. Oh, which line is this? Is this the new one? Yeah, this is the new one. Look how busy that one is. Don't know how if the buses are all full of this line though. And some of them are full, but most of them are at one spot at the moment. Don't give Jervy any ideas. Nightmare. No. You don't have to give them ideas. If you... No one isn't. I'm going to ignore this now. If chat is keeping being like this, I'm probably going to put it as a channel point reward thingy. With 1 million channel points. I'm pretty sure even Turvy doesn't have that many. Ooh. Oh, sorry. Really big. Yay! Oh, it was a roof area. Oh. What do you mean this little area. Oh, I'm just drinking water today. Let me see if I can disable this option. Yeah, so I can actually see the details from close by. It was always a bit strange not to see the details if you zoom into a building. So I can actually see things like this now. Oh, that's a lot of visitors. But it's also losing a bit of money now. But I will replace this zoo and place it in this little area. I want some more city parks, so I'm going to place the central park in this area. But I have to redevelop the whole city at one point. We also have the old city over here, and still with little buildings. And this is also really busy. I need to increase this bus line. This is not going too well. Let's double the amount of buses. Wait, where am I looking at? It's all the way over here. Oh, was the hotel this expensive? Yeah, I was questioning why I lost a bit of money. But we didn't have any visitors yet, sadly. Yeah, we are stuck at 17,500 at the moment. It's not going up or down at the moment. But we are gaining so much more people, so I don't know what's happening. There's still a lot of spots available everywhere, so it's just industry at the moment. That's not going too well, especially with the lack of resources that are incoming. This industry is going well, but it's just this industry. Let me make a little bit of another one over here. Maybe if I had more train stations everywhere, it could work something better. Going to terminal. I know it needs power. Wait, is this connected? No. Maybe a bit lower or higher, one of the two. Okay, now it is. Power this area. Yes, he needs more water.
At Banhammer Bank, we want you to trust us with your money. Because it's with your money that we can make you more money. How? It's not funny business, it's money business. You give your money to us and it will grow with interest. That's the plan, at least. Maybe that's too complicated for you. Imagine planting a money tree in the ground and
we
watering
don't have
it.
any
Hold on.
demands at
Imagine
the
if you
moment.
had a money pet and you fed it more money, and after digesting it would... okay. You want to go money fishing, so you use a little money to catch a big money. You know, just come in and talk to us. We have even more metaphors that allow us to avoid saying what we really do with your money. Banhammer Bank. Feed the
I
money
don't trust
monster.
this bank. Let's also change the music to normal one. Not enough workers, I know. Because the employment rate is really low, I believe. Yeah, only 13%. This one is still not used too much. Probably because there is no industry connected to it. Oh, only one passenger. Wait, more buses coming. let's follow this one. I think a lot of people are going to get off one of the shops over there. I think the next street. Right, no, the next one then. I don't know where it's going to. Oh, this one. Okay. Only a few ones. I think they are going to the solar plant down there. But most people are going to get off near the shops. Maybe this station or stop on the next one. Might be the next one. Yeah, I think this stop here. But people still have to walk all the way over here and to cross the street. Let's launch the rocket. I'm going to call it. We didn't have this one, I believe, yet. It's going to make a lot of people happy again.
Warning. Experts predict an earthquake could hit the area soon.
Oh no. I was developing this area, nature, please. I was also following the rocket. But luckily it's not inside the city center. Oh, I don't know what's happening with the screen. It's going really high. Bye bye, city. Oh, okay. Luckily there aren't that many people in this area at the moment. That means I'm also going to lose some stores again. I don't have any shelters in this area also, so evacuating everyone is not going to help me. But maybe it will stay in this little area though. I hope. I don't like this area. It's so smoky.
An earthquake is occurring. Don't panic and wait for help if you are in the affected area.
I'm so happy it's not close to this area at the moment. It's just moving soil around a bit. A silly earthquake. Or maybe it's affecting this area with the fires though. It wasn't too bad, luckily. Just over here. For some reason this whole area is just unlucky. Oh, this is the only thing it did. Please give me more commercial. I want this building. Even the low-tax challenge wasn't this slow. And that was also really difficult to do. I'm also thinking about not changing this at all and maybe start a new city instead of adjusting the whole city to a new type. But maybe I will put a poll for that on either Twitter or on chat and see what people would like me to do. And since maybe it's best to start a new city and start optimizing it from the start instead of having to fix everything. I'm getting so close. It already took me an hour to get 1000 more. Looks like I even have to extend the living area again. Let's do that. Bit more biking lanes. Move this road. Oh, this is just a regular line. Oh. So there's no heating in this area at the moment. That's not really helping for a cold city like mine. But I'm getting really close to the industrial zone now. That should give me some more plots to build on, since this one is increasing a bit. Also, so close to 90,000 people in the city. That's so many. I just hope commercial will increase a bit again. Also seems to be no heating over here. Oh, that's because we don't have enough heating at the moment available. Let's make another one over here. That should fix it a little bit, I think. Right? What minute? I might need the next one, another one. I don't really like this music. Oh, when I was talking about the music, it's a bit too much for the city. Not much is happening, so there's so many buses everywhere. Wait, even with that amount of areas, why are people not building more? There's also this challenge for abandoned buildings, I believe. Yeah. 1,000 abandoned buildings, but I can easily do that with raising the taxes for the commercial zone when we are done. With 100%, I think. People will leave those buildings really fast then. And I have enough reserve at the moment to keep it up for a few weeks, I believe. Oh, yeah. Well, not much happened. The earthquake was already gone for a while. The game is just being a bit silly. Oh, they are building more. Okay, that's good. I'm getting near the 18,000. That's actually a lot of commercial buildings already. We're also getting more people over here now, so... also have these spaces that are still empty. so we can support a bit more growth in this area. Oh, this music is also the same as the previous one. Not much is happening though, game. Calm down. Can I not increase the import? I wonder. They are really expensive though, so I don't know if I want to use them. Oh, so close. Only 100 more to that one. Let's build more ones over here. Some more zoning areas. There are a lot of abandoned buildings in the city now. But that's good for this achievement. Only 41 it looks like. It's decreasing slowly. I was thinking I saw more. But those are all these emblems over here. We still have a lot of these spots in the city over here for more shops though. $18,000 maybe? I think I can live in it, but we named one of the characters Yawayuki the first stream, but we are never going to find them back. Like, there are so many people in the city. Have to go to 90,000 people living here. That's impossible to find. But I think there's a building that was the mayor's house or something similar to that. Let's see. Oh, that reminds me, I found something else also. we going to drain spies? The secret agency. Maybe I can only make one, and since it's I can make multiple. I was thinking maybe because it's a special building like that. There also need a lot of these new buildings for learning, but I will do that for the new city actually. So I can make this citizens really smart and fast in a new city without using this building yet. It's even increasing more now. Maybe they can't keep up with the amount of people anymore. And since most of these monorail and carts are stuck somewhere in the city, I believe. Yeah, over here. They are always stuck over here. And they're waiting for this to leave, and so this one can move.
The classics, the city's #1 source for music older than the city itself.
Thank you for the free subscription, Leo. Our anniversary. Was it around this time that you subscribed for the first time, Leo? You got a year now. Yay! I think you're the first one with a year subscription, right? I don't actually remember when I officially gained my affiliate on Twitch. It's been a while again, so it's a bit hard to remember. If I remember correctly, the first month was maybe somewhere around March or something similar. What do you mean at the first? Next to me, you're the first, oh, the longest, yeah, you're the longest next to me. I think, Ski is the oldest subscriber of the channel. I can, let me see. I can see on my badge. Oh, 13 months, so that makes it March April. Yeah, maybe around that time. But happy anniversary, Mario. Oh. We have another problem over here. Oh, yeah, it was one of the first games we streamed after hitting affiliate. I think I ended it around April last year, the near game. Maybe you joined around the time I was collecting the last things in the game, like the skull, enemy, maybe. The game has multiple endings, so it's a bit confusing sometimes. Yeah, that might actually be when I was collecting the last things. I know the last stream we did for New Year was with the secret boss fight. I believe by doing that we unlocked the last ending and yeah, we ended the game there. We also deleted our data by helping others, I believe, also. It was a fun mechanic. By completing the game and choosing to help others, it deletes your save, I believe. It was a really fun game to play. Now it's stuck at 18,000. If I'm not able to make it today, I might keep running the game off the stream a while until we hit it achievement. That's the only thing I'm working on at the moment. Maybe we also need some more buildings in this area. Let's see. Only thing bad about the first area is that it's so long, I think. It takes a while for the game to actually start. Oh, this also increases the amount of industry, I think. I'm not sure. I don't need more of these worker barracks. Maybe. To increase the efficiency of this area. Can I see it somewhere? Yeah. 39. Let's increase it to 50. Maybe this many? Oh, it needs water. The water only goes through here. This is an important area since this is most of our income, I believe. I need even more of those buildings, it looks like. That should be 50%, yeah, 150 efficiency at the moment. I wonder how high we can go with that. And I need a lot of people working in this area, and I don't even have enough workers. I mostly have highly educated people working here. We are losing people again, oh no. That's not good. I'm still confused why the ships can go through the road over here. I was hoping to see people on the buildings themselves, but maybe that would be a bit too much for this game. I can see them over here now. Maybe I also need some office buildings somewhere to decrease this again. Just over here for now. Demand is really high, so It looks like even have to increase the roads over here. With more housing. Yeah, they started to build directly. Oh, I'm running out of space slowly. I don't know where else to build more homes. Often I feel this area. This area is just too dangerous. Oh. The warehouse is on fire. Oh no. Yeah, water is also important for fire trucks. Maybe one fire truck isn't enough for this whole area. Oh, the fire is spreading to the forest behind it. Okay. Let's go and save the forest. It's important. Oh, I deployed all the fire helicopters. Even the helicopters coming from the other side of the city at the moment. Please save the forest.
Back again with another email that asks, what did society look like outside of the concert halls of old Europe? Well, it's a good question. Not all of the members of old European society were famous music composers. Quite the opposite. The makeup of European society was roughly 20% pirates, 10% military generals, 50% chimney sweeps, and 20% music composers. Thanks for the message. And remember, you can always let us know your thoughts by email,
There's
as
so
we
many
have resolved our billing dispute
helicopters.
with the service provider. Enjoy.
No, if it reaches over here, it's going to we put the airfield on fire also. It's something we have to prevent as much as possible. Maybe I have too much industry at the moment also. since office buildings also count as industry, I believe. The Firefox. I don't have that many parks, I believe. Let's see. Oh, this is a fireplace. There we go. It fits the theme of the fireplace over here. I still need more housing. Oh. I just hope I can keep this low density, but maybe I have to also change this to high density. Oh, no, he's Steffi. Hope you have a really comfy day. This is so busy. Even with 20 buses, it doesn't decrease any. It's not really a bus issue, it's just that people just want to take buses too much at the moment. It is fixed. I just added this new area, so a lot of people are using the bus. But because of all the people who are using the bus, it decreases the amount of cars on the road, so that's no problem anymore. Well, except this area, since these are all shops at the moment, and shops cause a lot of traffic, unfortunately. But once we can build that one building, I'm going to replace the shopping area with office buildings over here. But we're getting really close, only 15,000 left. Or 1,500, I mean. I just need more housing, I think. This should be enough. Industry is still growing a little bit. I really have to fix this water line. The side over here, it's so messy. Hmm. The supplying cars for the little shops are the ones that look like this. So there are a lot of them coming to the city at the moment. Oh no. Fire everywhere again. Oh, did they? Yeah, they fixed this area. No, saved it. Let's plant some new trees. Hmm. Here we go. More trees again. Yeah, it's stuck at the moment again. It's stuck every 1,000. Every time I hit 1,000, it's getting stuck somewhere. How are my spies doing? Well, no one is in a holding cell at the moment. But we got a prison over here. A lot of people are in the prison. Hmm? Oh. Let me see. Maybe you can see something. Maybe it's just Discord again. It's been acting a bit silly lately. Yeah, maybe it might be Discord. Oh, I on a pile of power lines over here. I don't need those anymore. You're so close, but it's so slow. A lot of this industry also doesn't have enough resources from the outside, so it's maybe better to put some office buildings down. Leave this. That's the invite link. The shadow. Maybe if this link also doesn't work. Maybe Discord has some problem somewhere. Yesterday was a big problem with Discord, and so... Oh, we have a lot of those comments on the chat. We also have the Twitter one and the one for my YouTube channel. If anyone ever wants to know the links to those. Slowly increasing since I'm replacing some of the industry with offices now. It's still so much cleaner than the industry. Maybe the smoke area will also go away again if I do this. Wasn't there also a policy for those things like this, or were they only for industry? Okay. It makes sense since office buildings are already really high. Oh no, that's not good. Oh, okay. I will be streaming longer, so There's something on fire over here.
Hello again from the classics, the home of the flute.
I'm surprised this air goes so well with the traffic, even if it's a bit of a problem over here. Yeah, it's the amount of events that are entering the city at the moment that makes a problem with my traffic. I mean, it's only office buildings, so there isn't that much traffic anymore. Oh, the demand for shops is going up. Nice. That's what I wanted to see. I guess the offices are balancing out everything for me. We are not talking about that nightmare. That didn't happen. I think I like this music the most in the game. It's really comfy. Oh, please notice the lights in the sky. I'm going to ignore this nightmare. I don't know what you're talking about. Something silly, probably. We still need so many houses. Let's add another street. It also needs water. Since the house demand keeps rising every time. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know what happened. We should have a reason, probably. Oh, we still have this little area that's not actually doing anything. Let's remove it again. It's only taking more power influence from me away. It's a little bit hard to see what's where. Oh, okay. Still not enough resources for the industry. Oh, they are actually building on the hill over here. Illusion. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing really fluffy today. It's been a bit warm, but I've been cleaning the foxhole and working on some things. Hope your day was also really comfy and your weekend. It's important to have some time to rest during the weekend after a really busy week. We are working some on the city today. Actually trying to get a certain building, but it's really far away still. I'm trying to fix this area a little bit so we can have a better commercial zone, but I think I need to add a subway over here now. What are you? You are trains, okay. There's the subway loop over here. This one is going to connect to the airport. There's so many lines everywhere. One is subway and one is carway. There we go. Let's add a line. Also the other way. So we have two ways it will travel. Oh, over here. I am at the subway station now. Well, this row is filling up slowly. Only need 1500 more. Since we don't have enough customers over here at the moment. With the amount of houses being built and the increase of population, I'm probably going to get more customers to that area soon. We still need so many houses. They are slowly building this neighborhood bigger. But at one point I have to replace this whole area and make it like this one. This is the optimized neighborhood. It also only has mostly bikes instead of cars now. And buses. But the buses are also really popular. Upgrade the airport. The airport is not being used that much actually. It's over here. It has a connection with the subway now though. You can see the subway around here. It's over here. This is the new one, I believe. This one. 2 passengers. 0. This line is going to be more popular soon, I hope. The industry is just not working anymore from the city. I just need officers, I think. Oh, it has 3 terminals that connects this area up with the airport and this area.
Of the great masters.
So it should be enough for now. Also, by decreasing the amount of industry I have in this area, the import is much easier for the factories, I think. This is the road to the main city. This area and this area are all connected with these two bridges over here into the city. But if people are using subways, it should mean I don't need any cars, right? That would make sense to me. It reduces the amount of cars on the road, like the buses do. But why are you talking with two accounts at the moment, Nightmare? Pollution is not as bad. I'm working towards the one building that removes all the pollution from the city as much as possible. I don't know. But we also have this. This building over here. This is the recycle center that reduces pollution so much in the city. It also produces some power output, but not much. I can't actually look down over here because it's so tall. Please let me build my arch. It's already getting a bit more busy on this terminal. I just noticed how far in the time we are. It's already 63. Right, yeah, that's stuck on here. Oh, hi, Oda. Hope your weekend's really comfy. Welcome to the stream. Maybe I also need some snow and plows over here. Oh, thank you. I try to make it as comfy as possible. We are close to 19,000. And so that means we can build that in one really big building soon. Eden project. That's the whole reason I'm doing most of the things in the game now. Oh, not a problem. Already have 2 of those. Okay, that should be okay. Also a lot of industry that's just abandoned over here. Not enough workers again. Everyone wants to work in those office buildings, I think. Those are more profitable for people to work at. Oh, I'm losing more space. Oh no. Just temporarily high buildings over here. That gives me more citizens that can live in one building. Since this area is already filled up with houses. And I don't want to change it to Green City all over yet. And since that reduces the amount of people that can live in a city by a lot the first year again. And that doesn't help my development of the commercial zone, I'm afraid of. But pollution is also reducing in this area, it looks like. And since most of the factories are just getting abandoned at this point. I'm replacing all the factories with office buildings. Those are much cleaner. I think they also give much more money than industry, I believe. You're getting close to our goal. Is there anything else I can work on in the meantime? Maybe this one. But I need to hold Market Street for that one. Let's see. Oh, I need more walking tours. Okay, I can do that. Let's have one over here. And we'll be connected to this one again. Maybe around the corner and then complete. checks the amount of that people have walked up till now. That's also possible. So let's see. 728. If I add another walking tour over here. Yeah, it's the amount of meters people have walked with a tour, I think. There's also a big one over here. Water treatment plant, okay, not unlock that one. What is this? Office zone, okay, that's easy to do. What is this? Oh, I can't make this one yet. This one was also really big, I believe. And I need a new park for that. And there is also a, let's see, amusement park I can build. Also has a lot of buildings. So maybe I want to make one of those somewhere. Maybe I can assign this area as an amusement park when I remove most of it. And since all the industry is going to move to this side, no offices are going back into the city when it's done there. But only one building is holding me back at the moment. What else can we make? Oh, I need more libraries. Okay. This is a good spot. Another one over here. And so more people can read books. And actually see the capacity is not really high though.
You're listening to the classics, and I've just got some mail from one of our listeners.
So many
on H.
blingy sounds
Why
by
did Johann
for
Sebastian
upgrading
Bach
houses and
throw out his
everything.
harpsichord? Because it was Baroque. Todd, a noble effort, but J.S. Bach loved his harpsichord and would never have thrown it out, as it would have almost certainly been dismantled and used as firewood by the countless peasants of Leipzig. Anywho, you're listening to the classics, where if it is Baroque, then don't fix it.
They're having more jokes. Oh no. Let's also add some water to this to eat. So I can have some more high buildings again. Keep getting more and more housing requests. But commercial zone isn't growing that much, unfortunately. Oh, my sawmill area is making so much money for me. Oh, not enough buyers, but we can export it, right? The IKEA. Oh, I have some abandoned buildings over here. Oh no. Wait. Oh, it is? I was a bit confused why it said Mega Mall. Since I was thinking this was office buildings, but office buildings are over here. Offices can never be a mall. Do I still need these power lines over here? No. Thank you so much for the follow. How are you doing? Hope your weekend is really comfy. We are playing some city skylines today. I'm trying to unlock some new buildings. Oh, this is the ice here. I haven't been working on much. Art museum. A lot of icons everywhere, oh no. Oh, I'm from the European virtual space. I moved over here. I think 2 years ago now. Yeah, around 2 years ago I moved over to Europe. Oh no. And someone is waiting for transport in the square building over here. This is still really busy over here. I just hope I can build the building really fast. I'm still stuck. Okay. That means I have to build even more housing. This neighborhood is getting surrounded by high buildings now. Oh, there's a little... I don't know what those are. And a little playground also. Ever since I removed the blur, I can zoom in really close to the buildings. Oh, why is it so busy here? Maybe because the underground. I think most people on the bus station are just taking other buses to go to another bus line. Well, that's the whole reason behind the bus station, but... Well, this one is getting a bit more empty now with the amount of buses I have active on this line. There were just these two last ones that are still really busy. We also have a really big house next to it now. Before this, the bus depot was over here. And I've moved it to place it all the way over here, so it's not causing too much problems with traffic over here. It's still a bit bad now. And I will replace the bus station with this one. The bus hub. Yeah. I should see increase in commercial zone, I hope. There's so many people living here now. Nearly 100,000. Oh no. The little building got abandoned. I like this little building, but maybe they didn't like being next to the Lip Depot. Might make too much noise for them. Oh, I can make it, okay. Oh, it's really big though. It does fit in one of these areas between it, but maybe it's too steep here. I was expecting that to happen. Let's put it over here for now. Oh, it's a really nice Nice area. Looks like a little bit like a small castle. Need a sea fortress now. I think I can build it now. If I remember which... Oh, this one. Next to this one. Does it have water? No. No one does. Oh, actually have to make it. I don't need a new park area for that one. The snow is really bad at the moment. Oh, it is. It's a bit weirdly linked with... It is. Else it was complaining. Normally if you have buildings that aren't connected to the road, they are starting to have icons above them.
Classics, where we harp on the chordists and flout the flautists.
You see? People can just go inside. People don't care about the sea fortress themselves. They're starting to sit over here. Oh, bye. It's really busy in the harbor over here. Got a harbor over here, another gargoyle harbor over there, and the big gargoyle harbor and gargoyle hop over there. This has both a connection with the train tracks and the road itself. It doesn't supply much areas now. This one does a bit more. And this is just busy with people joining the city. But the busiest place in the city is around the space elevator. It gives the city around 500 to 600 people that join the city every day, I believe. But the monorail doesn't really like it since it can't handle all the people. Yeah, I think this is the busiest part of the city. But we have also so many people living in it, so it makes sense. I only don't know how the space elevator works. I don't see an elevator. It's only outgoing, it's not incoming, that's busy. Welcome back, Shadowlink. Let me also change the music for now. Maybe this is a bit too dramatic. Not much. We are getting closer to the business part, but it will probably take a while still. There's not much I did actually. I just loaded some other buildings like these. Build area. Also increased the living area over here again. These aren't too busy, looks like. This might actually be the capacity of the building every week. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's the maximum of visitors. Oh wait, no, it's higher. Yeah, much higher. This one is really popular, it looks like. Oh, all I'm going to say is that I moved from Japan 2 years ago. I've been living in Japan for a long time before I moved into the European area. Yeah. Oh, this is a really funny skyscraper. Highest skyscraper. Let's see what's the highest in the city at the moment. It might either be the hotel or this building over here. When I built this one, I was thinking this was the highest one. But this one is maybe twice as high. But I also gained special buildings, I believe, in this one. It also gives me some skyscrapers. And those aren't too tall though. Oh, this one is actually taller. This is the Noah Street. Oh, these are not buildable anymore since I already built them somewhere in the city. You can only have one of them. And the black buildings are the ones I haven't unlocked yet. Yeah. It will be a bit too much if you can have multiple of a certain building, I think. We can also have a space shuttle. And television tower. These aren't too big now. I think this one is the biggest one I can build. Yeah, this is the biggest one. So tall. I have to find a good spot for this one. Oh yeah, they added a lot of things. Like, I started the city out with only the normal game, I think, and then I got some expansions for snow buildings. We got a transportation update. We also got the parks now, so I have the really big zoo in the middle of the city, which I'm going to replace after a while. Oh yeah, they have one, but it's not as big, unfortunately. I think you better download player created things with Japanese buildings. So you can have all the buildings in another building style. But officially there is no really big update for that one, unfortunately. But maybe I will do that for the next city. I did download some modifications for this for the game though, like the traffic control modification, so I can say which lanes are used and where traffic lights are placed and everything. It makes it much easier for the traffic to flow through the city. Welcome. I like this tower a lot, it's rotating. Maybe I place it a bit close to the harbor now. The thing I'm going to build in this the city center is going to be the Central Park. It's much smaller than the current park over here. So it gives me some more space to build buildings around here. But the problem at the moment is that because I'm working on a commercial zoning. And the city is a bit busy with delivery vans everywhere. Oh, okay, you were really comfy. I think nap. Well, hope to see you next time. But yeah, I'm probably not going to stream much longer today. I'm a bit stuck with that one building. And so I might actually run the game off stream a little bit tomorrow. Until it's available. And so we can continue making some things. I'm still making so much money though. I need more office buildings again. How's the IKEA doing? Don't need more timber. And where's the timber so low? We have a lot of timber at the moment. Why is it not being delivered to the IKEA? I have no idea. What's the fire watchtower? I did place some around this area since thunder was striking the forest over here. Another one over here. Did also place a few ones somewhere else, I believe. But I'm not sure where I lit with those. Wait, is this radio the tower much higher than? I don't think so. I think this one is higher. Yeah, much higher. It's not as busy though. I might actually move the music up into over here. Is this fit over here? Yeah. It's a little bit in a better place. Instead of this little road over here. I'm really stuck with the amount. Yeah, I'm probably going to leave the game here for today. And work on the city a bit more next time. I'm probably also going to put up on Twitter soon about the city streams if we want to start a new city in a normal area instead of the snow area, or continue with the Fox City for now. But I will really let people know when I put on the call online. So yeah, let's save this one. We also really nearly to 100,000. Yeah, let me change to chatting. Hong Kong. Let me open some tabs so I know what I'm doing. You mean the building I'm trying to get, or the building I just built near the city center? There are two we were being busy with. Let me also see who's streaming today. Probably not a lot of people anymore, since it's already this late. Oh, and that was a building they added with a download pack, I think. Okay, I found someone to raid. It's been a while since we raided them. Let me get a raid ready. Oh, hi, Cake. No, I can't say that word anymore. So yeah, it was really comfy today. We did a lot of things with the city. Unfortunately, not what I wanted to do all, since it took so long. Tomorrow will also be a stream, but maybe only Animal Crossing for now. And we're also going to get Sky tomorrow. I finally found them. So I'm really happy. So yeah, we are going to raid Pucci-san today. They are playing Dragon Star or something similar like that. So be really comfy to them. I will also be a bit on Discord tomorrow again if people want to talk with me. No, Sky will not leave. They will stay on the island. Yeah, it was really comfy. I hope to see everyone next time. Have a really comfy day, evening or morning. And be nice to Pucci. Bye bye everyone. Hong Kong.